Hi guys. So I thought I'd do basically, I don't know, something on um, dealing with the death of a partner or a loved one. Unfortunately, my partner took his life in June this year, and I'm pregnant with his child. So it's been tough, but unfortunately, my family has been through this before. In 2007, my sister's fiance, when she was 21, took his life. Um, so I suppose I have been through this on two levels. The outsider's perspective, where you see somebody else go through this, see how their life changes, and just sorry, my dog. Yeah, just sort of, you see somebody lose someone, and you see them upset, and you can feel for them, but you never really understand what they're going through. So when my sister was 21, her fiance David took his life for the pure fact that his university partner for an assignment texted him to say that they hadn't done their part of the law assignment. And that was enough to push him over the edge. And I've seen my sister go from the happiest person in the world to planning a life together, and then it all been taken away from her. And then also, I have recently gone through it myself where my partner passed away in June. Same day we found out about our son, and that was basically based on a psycho ex girlfriend who had been tormenting him for years, telling him to go die, making him feel like he was worthless. And I mean, these two people were the most beautiful people I know. Now, originally, when he passed away, I mean, you just don't believe it. I was at his house. We got a phone call from the police. He'd been missing for a couple of hours. He said that he was going to do it. We tried to get him back, but it was too late. So, I mean, the original shock didn't, honestly, it did not set in for a couple of days. And you just sort of, you're stunned more than anything. And then you go through the phase where you realize, and I mean, really, my first thoughts was I just want the funeral to be over. I want everything to stop. I want everyone to just not be around me. So about a month passed, and things got pretty intense. And then I sort of dawned on me that I'm having this baby. So that was pretty hard to deal with. And I don't know if anyone else has had to deal with this, but it is pretty intense. So you go through a lot of feelings. Like originally, I mean, I stayed in bed for 3 months. It was horrible. I cried myself to sleep every single night. And just the simple task of having a shower became so difficult. And changing things in my room and buying new clothes, going out for a coffee, like it was so hard. You just, honestly, the world stops and you think, how can you keep living when somebody who meant so much to you cannot? And it was really something that I had to face, and I still am facing it. And it's only in the last, he's been gone 6 months now. So, excuse me, it's only in the last probably month that, I mean, I've learnt to smile again. I'm not sleeping right because, you know, I'm grieving and I'm pregnant. I'm 30 weeks pregnant. But I mean, I've learnt to smile again. I've learnt to know it's okay to go out. I've learnt to know it's okay to move on. Not that I'm seeing anyone or anything like that, but you sort of, you have a new appreciation for life, and you have, I suppose, an appreciation for understanding that things can change and it's okay to change. The fact that you're moving on, the fact that you're having, I don't know, the fact that you're enjoying yourself again doesn't mean that you're losing their memory. It doesn't mean you're dishonoring them or anything like that. It's a natural part, and I mean, it hurts. It really, really hurts so much. And I remember the first time I went out for coffee. Went out for coffee with a friend of mine, and literally, I had a mental breakdown just for the fact that I was out for coffee. But you know what? Now I feel my partner around me, and I learn to do things in my day to day life that still includes him. Like, I talk to him every night before I go to bed. I do all those sort of things, and for some reason, I know it's okay, and honestly, I can't understand. I can't really tell you how to do that, but it does come in its own time, and you have to let yourself hit rock bottom before you can feel happy again. And that's sort of what I learned. Like, within a week of him dying, you just get this feeling, how am I going to do this? How am I ever going to enjoy life? I just want to die, sort of thing. But you can't. Like, you can't think like that. And I spent a good 3 weeks every single day driving an hour from my house to his grave, sitting there in a ball of mess, would not stop talking about him. Just everything I did, it was like he was still here. And that's your natural, that's how you grieve. Well, that's how I grieved anyway. So obviously being pregnant, it's a little bit different and it is quite hard, but you just got to know you're not alone. And although it kills and you think, oh my God, how the hell am I going to do this? And all those things, you realize that although that person is gone, they're still with you. Like, it's okay to talk to them. Don't think you're being absolutely weird and there's something mentally wrong with you. It's okay to talk with them and tell them how you're feeling. Like, if I do something like, I talk to my partner every night. I sit outside about 2 o'clock in the morning, stare at the stars, and just talk to him and tell him how much I miss him and how scared I am of moving on without him. And it's hard to explain. Like, I tell I don't. I've been told that if you don't let them go, they linger. And I'm not a spiritual person, but I truly believe that. So I've stopped wanting him to come back because he needs to be at peace and I need to be at peace that he's gone. So I've stopped wanting him. Like, I still wish he was here, but I've stopped literally screaming from within my heart telling him to come back. And I mean, it's a really strange feeling because not once have I hated him for what he's done. Not once have I hated anyone who has said anything since he's passed to hurt me or anything like that. And it's quite strange. You learn how to forgive, understand, and things like that. And you do. You just need to know that you're not alone. And it does suck. Like, seriously, this sucks ass. But you have to go through your own grieving process before you can move on. And it's, like I said, it's probably only in the last month that I've started being social again. And being pregnant, that's a pretty big thing to do. Like, I mean, it doesn't mean you have to shut yourself away. You'll come to a point in time where you know that you can love again. You know that it's okay to do things. And they're always at the back of your mind. You're not letting them go, you're not dishonoring them. And like I said, it's good to just talk to them. Like, I talk to Andrew every single night. And I tell him, I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you. I'm sorry if I'm doing something that you wouldn't like. All those sort of things. And it helps. Like, it really helps clear your head. Although they're not here and they can't respond, you putting it out there to the universe that you miss them, things like that, it helps yourself move on, helps yourself reconcile your own demons, and say things to them that you may not have said. Like, I'm lucky in the fact that I told Andrew every single day how honoured I was that he was in my life. And that when we did have children and when we did get married, that would be the proudest day of my life. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out the way that, I'd love it was if he was here to see his son. Like, he was my absolute world. But the way I see it is things happen for a reason, and although it hurts, you have to see the beauty in life. And maybe it's easier for me because I do have our child on the way, and although that's really hard in itself, it gives me something to look forward to. And it's then although they're gone, they're never forgotten, and you find yourself in sort of a space where you never do let them move, like you don't let them go, but the initial feeling of overwhelming, or sort of the overwhelming feeling, it goes. And rather than thinking about them every 10 seconds, you think about them every 10 minutes, and then every hour, and then a couple times a day. And the feeling of sadness when you see their photo, see their messages in your phone, hear their voice, things like that. It doesn't hurt anymore. You almost feel at peace and feel happy to see those photos. And it is really, really strange, but you have to let yourself feel everything. And I don't hate him for taking his life, and I think that was a really brave thing to do. And the only thing, like, I remember when he passed away, all I wanted to do was go to the coroner's and be with him. I hated the fact that he was alone and cold. That's the only thing. Like, seriously, I did not think about anything else. All I wanted to do was be with him. And I suppose that's just how I am. Like, I, you just want to take care of them even though they're not even here anymore. Like, all I wish I could do is make him dinner or, make his bed for him. Anything. Which is really strange. But I mean, like I said, you have to know you're not alone. You need to go through the grieving process, and there's so many things out there that you can get help with. And although every single case of grief is different, like personally, I don't see a psychologist, a counselor, nothing, only because, like, I was in that much pain at the beginning, and with what my sister went through and me having a child, I felt like no one could understand. And I mean, I've learned how to deal with this in my own way. And at the same time, I am dealing with so many things around me that, it's just, you just learn. You seriously do learn. So all I can say is I encourage everyone to, cherish every moment that you have with your loved one. And don't be scared to say things to people. If you love someone, fuck, tell them. Tell them. And don't have anything that you wish you could say to someone. If they're pissing you off, say it to them. Don't leave things unresolved. That's the worst thing you could do. And that's probably the only thing that makes me so at peace with everything. I told Andrew everything, that he knew absolutely everything, and he was my absolute soulmate, and I told him every single day, and I looked after him better than I looked after myself. And all I wanted to do was protect him. So everyone, I encourage you to live life every day with the people that mean so much to you, and tell them how much you love them. Like, yeah, that's all I could say. So thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below, and please subscribe. If you have anything you want to ask, go ahead, and yeah, okay, thank you, bye.